Okay, ladies and gents, what's up? Rain sounds in the background because I know many of y'all like that. Anyway, what I'm doing in this video is basically showing y'all how I plan on unlocking World Tier 4 with my level 60 Barbarian. Same build I showed off in my video. Okay, the only thing I've changed is my outfit just to look swanky, but basically same skill set. All right, nothing unique or special or different about it. And basically, if you're playing the Barbarian correctly, you should always be able to take on, challenges way above your level. Hang on, let me shrink myself down a little bit. There we go. Okay, don't want to be too big on screen, all right? But basically, the idea behind the Barbarian is knowing how to control your skills and use them well. So I figured this would be a great teaching tool to show people how I play the Barbarian. Maybe if you guys don't have time to watch the streams or whatever, it's totally okay. So, when you're unlocking World Tier 4, obviously, enemies here are going to be level 70. There's only 10 levels above me, but, still, it should be a good enough teaching tool. Basically, when there's multiple enemies around me, I will taunt. Okay? Why? You get damage reduction during that entire time. Okay? Which is fantastic. And you can also just draw enemies away from your allies. If I see elites, all right, especially those with potentially crowd controlling skills, for example, let's say they've got frost or lightning, things that can debilitate you, make you vulnerable, things like that. Although it won't solve issues of debuffs like vulnerability, you would use your rallying war cry, okay, as I demonstrated in the combat clips, to basically make sure that you are permanently, okay, unstoppable for the duration of the cry. So in this case, I would be unstoppable for approximately 7.4 seconds, which is fantastic, and it's what you want, okay? By becoming unstoppable for that duration, you can basically make it so that your enemies aren't going to be doing very much, all right? So let's apply that principle here. This time we've used all three shouts. Why? Because the enemy was dangerous. Okay, your shouts are on a fairly short cooldown, assuming that you've built correctly. So it should not be a problem for you to use them freely, okay? So don't sweat it and just go in, go ham, give them a slam, and you're all good to go. Okay? Most enemies are not going to be a threat to your Barbarian as long as you carefully manage your potions and your shouts. You should be able to fortify pretty quickly and also dish out plenty of damage. Alright? So this video will just be raw and unedited because obviously I don't want you guys to see me edit it and cut out bits and pieces. So if it does get a little bit boring with travel time, all right, don't worry too much. I'll probably mark those combat segments, but basically I figured this would be some good raw footage to show you guys how I play the Barbarian and how the Barbarian is played, especially against enemies that are much higher level than you, so that you can get a good feeling of, pretty much everything. Please do take note that in World Tier 4 and much higher Nightmare Dungeons, enemies are going to be tough, enemies are going to be strong, and the only way that you can continue to survive is by advancing your Paragon path, getting the stat points you need, and ensuring that your builds are of optimum efficiency, because if you don't, you're gonna have a bad time. Okay, let's keep killing our way through. You'll notice that my lunging strike basically is all the mobility that I need. Okay, that's basically what gets me through everything, because with that alone, I'm able to rush to where I need to go and then just bring down the hammer. Okay, try not to bring down the hammer if you haven't maxed out your fury. If you do so, you will be missing out. Now, in a big situation like this, where I know that there's more than one enemy with CC, I will use my Wrath of the Berserker. Okay, your ultimate is on a simple 55-second cooldown, and it cools down fairly quickly, so don't hesitate to use it. don't hesitate to apply it. Okay? As you can see, even though the monsters are much higher level than me, it's not much of a problem. You can survive fairly easily. Okay? But it does require you to, like I said, understand the core principles behind this, and to also, okay, control yourself. In multi-combat situations, always take advantage of your challenging shout, okay, and use your war cry freely whenever you need to de-shout more damage. All right, I usually use that when there's elites. And last but not least, rallying cry as soon as you see anything with CC. Okay? By balancing these 3 shouts, you will have mastered 90% of the Barbarian playstyle. Your Wrath of the Berserker is something that you only use when you are in troublesome situations against big bosses, or when you desperately need to survive a situation and there are no other options. So I always keep my ult primed and ready, because you never know when you might encounter a serious situation with multiple CCs coming your way and that you might not be prepared for. Okay, so that's something else to take into account. But overall, you know, you should be doing just fine as long as you manage your skills and as long as you manage, you know, how you fight, all that. Now look, we came close to death there, right? But thanks to the fact that we're always fortified, okay, we were able to survive as well. This is another crucial thing because the Barbarian relies heavily on damage reductions, all right? Especially when you're getting into the upper tiers. It's not so much damage that you have issue with, it's mostly damage reduction. You want to have as much damage reduction as possible, so that when attacks do try and hit you down, all right, you can survive them pretty ruthlessly. All right, that is something that I will say is a crucial key to the overall Barbarian strategy. Okay, damage reductions are your friend. Damage reductions are literally the key to surviving everything. So make use of your challenging shouts, especially in situations where you know damage is coming in. Okay, it may seem a little bit unavoidable, but with challenging shout, you know, you can literally just turn everything on its head, because 40% damage reduction for 7.5 seconds roughly is insane. And you'd be very sorry if you missed out on that. Again, don't hesitate to pop shouts. Okay, multiple shouts if you need to in serious situations. If you do find yourself in a tough situation, do not hesitate. Okay, that is a big key to this whole strategy. Do not hesitate. If you're in a tough situation, pop your challenging shout. It's not just for AoE. Okay, it's also for, you know, good damage reductions. Use it well. And if it's on cooldown, make good use of your evades, alright? If you have to kite enemies, especially if they're the type of enemies that explode, don't hesitate to do so, okay? Oops. Seems my inventory's full. Okay, this is the only time you will actually see a cut, because I'm sure you guys don't want to watch an entire town trip for no reason. So we'll do a little bit of a cut there, and then we'll come back and smash more. Okay, town trip was cleared, and now let's get back to smashing this Capstone Dungeon. Alright, there we go. Oh, don't need this. Okay, off we go. If you ever have trouble building up fury, please remember that you're not supposed to hammer smash constantly. You should only be hammer smashing big targets, okay, that are marked for destruction. What does that mean? Well, if it's a big elite, please smash that. Don't waste your own time, okay? It's the Idol of the Fallen right here, right? This is designed for being smashed. So I would hit my rallying cry, and I would just keep attacking. If I find that the situation is severe enough, and I really need to take it out, I can do that too. But I will usually try and build up my hammer to max and then hammer down. This becomes even more important when you're going to use stuff like Edge Masters or several of the other aspects that rely on primary resource. Yeah, you want to make sure that you take a proper build-up time. And once you do, you'll be alright. Okay, let's get to the center. I happen to have these boots with like 3 evades, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so we've gotten this far. As you can see, nothing major, nothing too difficult. Okay, we're just gonna come down here. And then Kudrauk. Insta-gibbed. Alright. If you really need to smash early, go ahead. But just be cautious, alright? Because you should not, theoretically, need to smash early. Should not. Okay? Always try and smash only once you've maxed out your Fury. It's crucial to maintaining, you know, high damage on every smash. Also, you'll have the skill that builds up with every basic attack, so that when you finally do smash, it's a big chunk of damage, right? So you want to have all that built up. And of course, there's that other aspect that allows you to go above max, that allows you to increase the damage of your smash by going way above maximum Fury, alright? So take that into account as well. And like I said, in complex situations where I do have to fight more than one elite, alright, I do not hesitate to pop my Wrath of the Berserker. It's an ultimate, but you don't have to be conservative about using it. Use it freely in a situation when you really need to, okay? So once again here, I know that this guy's gonna pop something like a CC, so I used my rallying cry early, but that's also okay because I knew I could smash him down. Don't be afraid to, especially when you're fighting above your level, don't be afraid to kite the enemies a little bit. Okay, don't just face tank, meaning don't just stand there and let them hit you. Please do kite them a little bit, okay? Use your shouts freely. They cool down fairly fast, especially if you've got good cooldown reductions in the build. Alright? Use your shouts as they're needed. Don't save them for a rainy day. None of that. Even your ult. Okay, if you really need to get on, really need to go unstoppable, you know, do it. Nobody's gonna say you're wrong. If anybody does say you're wrong, well then they're wrong. Because they don't know how to play the game. Okay? Yeah, there you go. Well, now that you understand the basics, the rest is just smashing. So let's go find the rest of the cannibals. Don't know where they are, but they'll be around here someplace. As always, suppressors first, yeah? Suppressors, kamikazes. Those have to go first because they will hurt you significantly. Okay. But where are these cannibals? There's the animus jar. Let the lunatics self-destruct quite literally. Okay. Your goal here is just to find... Ah, there it is. I was wondering where it had gone. There you go. With Wrath of Berserker and the rest of your shouts, it's a fairly simple process to really beat down elites quickly. Okay, so there you go. Nothing too flashy or difficult. But at the same time, like I said, in actual combat, I don't waste my time. Like earlier, I was trying to teach you guys, so I was taking it slow. But in actual combat, this is closer to what I do. I will actually just pop all my shouts as needed, delete the biggest threats after drawing them all in, and then just carry on like exactly like this. Alright? But you also have to practice with your shouts. Okay? I know when to spam them and when to save them. So don't just throw them all at once. Okay, Diablo 4 is kind of like It's a very interesting game because you do need... Oh, I leveled up. You do need, to an extent, alright, to an extent, you do actually need to understand when you should be doing certain things, when to use your abilities and skills to their best effect. Alright, spamming alone will not help you, no matter how much you want it to. Okay, go. Okay, we have all the animus we need, so we can just skip on right ahead. Oh. Let's put in my Paragon point there. A little bit of extra damage for me. Okay, we come to the animus urn right there. There are 2 gatekeepers. I probably shouldn't use Wrath of the Berserker there, but come on. The boss fight won't be as interesting if I didn't give myself some sort of a, you know, negative. So in this case, I don't have my ult now for the boss fight. Alright, let's force ourselves into a tough situation because that's what makes life fun. Okay, Altar of Sacrifice. Let's see how this goes. Oh, well, hello, Elias. Okay. Elias. Okay, I can see that this is going to be a semi-tough fight. Oh, wow. He is pretty deadly. Ooh. Got smoked there. Okay. Wasn't expecting the succubuses. So you can die if you're careless. Alright. So don't just think that you can survive any situation by face tanking. This is what I mean by you have to be aware that you can't just go into any situation and expect to survive. Understanding your opponent, understanding what they can do is very important. In that particular case, alright, the spawning of the succubuses was pretty dangerous because they deal high damage. Alright, so now we're back in again. This time we're going to play a little more cautiously. Okay. Okay, so one single hit is going to make us suffer tremendously. That's okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to be smart. We're going to move and shift around as needed. Okay. And where we can, we will strike down the succubuses. Here's where we'll make good use of the challenging shout to survive, as you saw there. Okay, and now that Elias is pretty much alone, okay, we will try and smack him down real quickly. But again, I'm also gonna stay cautious because when you're dealing with something like this, you don't want to be going in without your challenging shout, that's for sure. Okay, it will result in a lot of death for you. So let's be cautious as we fight. If you have to kite enemies around, okay, do so. Don't forget that that is part of what you can do. And there you go. This time around, we were prepared for the boss. We were able to see what Elias was going to do. All right, we understood that his attacks are very dangerous. So we kite around and we avoid the attacks. And then there you go. That's basically how you should engage in combat, especially when enemies are much higher level than you. Okay? So I hope that this has been a good lesson in basically how we do things and how you should be playing the Barbarian as well. And of course, we have access World Tier 4 with no real issues other than the surprise fight with Elias at level 60. Well, I ended on 61, so there you go. Anyway, I hope this is a good teaching tool for those of you playing the Barbarian and also for understanding how the Hammer of the Ancients Barbarian works and how you can engage way above your level. Alright? Proper understanding of enemy mechanics, kiting, and good use of your shouts at tactical moments will keep you alive far better than anything else. Alright? Like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Okay? You have a good time. Bye-bye.